Hey guys, I think it's August 27th, Friday, about 9 o'clock in the morning. Just got done watching a video from Red October. The name of it was The World is Changing. And man, that hit me like a brick. Because my experiences in life of my 65 years, what he brought out in that video is I can never pass them on because of the way life is now. Everything's so easy. In 1954, my mother and father bought a house that had running water, electricity, where the house that we came out of, I can remember at 4 years old, 1954. I'd get up on my little chair in the kitchen and I would work the hand pump for my mom, because we had a hand pump in the kitchen right to the well and you had to pump your water. That house had an outhouse. No indoor plumbing, period. In the winter, we used to use chamber pots. Those were just a bucket that if you had to pee or something at night, you just pee in the bucket and then my father would empty them in the morning. How do I explain that to people? A lot of people are still living like that in the Appalachia. You get out in the Blue Ridge or the Smoky Mountains and that's a normal way of life. But in that house with a hand pump and outhouse, we had a TV. Had 2 channels. We had the radio, we had the newspapers, and that was our news. Every time I do a video, a train goes by. Now, from say 1990, when I got my first computer, where the hard drive was 512 megabytes and RAM it wasn't even a megabyte of RAM. It was all DOS. You had to type commands. Now the computers, they're awesome, and it has changed the world. No matter what your belief, you can prove yourself right. Because somebody out there believes just like you. Then you get instant gratification because somebody else thinks like you. The kids nowadays, I have not a clue. I got a 16-year-old, and I don't know what world she lives on. I have no idea what kids' values are now, except they don't have a work ethic. They want something, they want it now, and they don't want to work for it. When I grew up, you had to work for everything. I had to work for my bicycle. I had to earn my own money to buy a bicycle. And those work ethics that I was taught when I was 4, 5, 6, teens, they carried me through life. Now people bitch because they think they're getting picked on because the boss wants them to do a shitty job. You know, Christ, back in the day, that if your boss said do something, you did it. Jobs were plentiful then, but you were still glad you had a job. But now people get themselves all wadded up, the panties in a bunch because the boss asks them to empty the trash can. Well, it's beneath their dignity. So they raise all kinds of hell. Overtime? You want me to work overtime? I gotta go play some video games. I can't do that. So, I can never actually express how it was when I was a kid, except for it was great. I mean, we had discipline, we didn't backtalk, we respected the elders. The cops were actually cops. My town only had 2 cops, and only one of them carried a gun, sometimes. Because they were man enough to take care of a situation. They could talk you down. I mean, they would spend their time because you knew them. They were your neighbors. Yep, my time is lost. The new ones, the new kids, they'll never know how great cleaning out a barn is. Put the cows out and we get in there and shovel shit. Make games of it. 7 years old, jump on a tractor. You don't see that much anymore. And if you do, OSHA's there trying to write up the parent for child abuse for making them work. But what I have found out about the internet, it makes everybody an expert on everything. You take that shooting of the reporter and the cameraman and that woman. Everybody's calling hoax, 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 it's fake. I watched a video this morning where a guy shot a melon with 9mm hollow point. Showed entrance and exit. So now he's a ballistics expert, and says that a person can't run after being hit 3 times with a 9mm with hollow points. Bullshit. I personally shot a Viet Cong in the chest 4 times at less than 20 yards, and he kept coming. He was dead, but he kept coming. If you have a hard time believing that, if you ever gone hunting and you get a great shot on, and you get a heart shot, you get him through the heart, that deer, moose, elk, bear will either drop instantly or will run for 100 yards. And if you have a clean shot through where it doesn't hit no bone, you don't get a blood trail. Not for another 10 to 20 yards, but where you shot him, there's no blood trail. The bullet went straight through, didn't hit nothing, so it didn't make a great exit wound. And you hunters know that. There's so much info on the internet, and how we use it, and I'm guilty of it too. We use it to fit our means. We can make our story true by giving links of other videos. But it's YouTube. They're the same as you and me. And because they saw it on YouTube, on a different channel, it has to be true. But you ask the people who have killed people how the human body responds to being shot. You wouldn't believe the things that we do. I got shot in the shoulder, in the back. Other than getting knocked down, I didn't even know I got shot because of adrenaline, because we were in a firefight. But when I tried to use my arm, I found out that it didn't work too well. So I've done both. I have given and I have received. It's much better to give. My time it's lost. It's gone. I try to teach my kids. I don't know if they get it. I know that one has. But my other 3, I don't know. But I know the young ones, when they want something, they don't want to work for it. God only knows what they're on the computer doing. I try to check to see what my daughter is doing, but it's impossible. So now is, unless you can see it, it's not real. Science doesn't mean a damn thing anymore. Mathematics is the language of the universe. And people will not or cannot understand that. I don't think this video came out like I want to. It's just frustration. What I'm seeing, we deserve everything we get. There's only a very few people have actually done something with their lives, where they're in a position where they can change something. I'm just going to put this video up and hope it makes sense to somebody. So, this old Marine, he's gone.